4 minutes after the hour, 65 degrees in downtown Sylacauga. And Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl joins us this morning. Mayor, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale. Good morning to your
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, ain't it?
It's a beautiful day. Can you believe how nice and dry it's been?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been dry for sure.
Well, that's October, Alabama October, you know, it's always dry. And
it ain't normally that dry, though. We didn't get any
well,
rain,
it's been kind of dry before we got into October, really. But it's,
absolutely.
Yeah, we could use some.
Veterans Day coming up.
When we need it.
Veterans Day coming up.
It is, absolutely. And another year, we got the veterans got a parade set up for Monday morning. They'll start lining up about 9:15, 9:30. The parade will start at 10 o'clock over there around 6th Street and in the parking lot behind the school, and go over to Broadway all the way up to Fort Williams and cross over Fort Williams, come back down Norton. And,
you being a veteran know of all people the importance of Veterans Day.
Well, yeah, especially if you, yeah. Well, when I came back from overseas, what we've seen, my main goal was working with the American Legion and our veterans that needed help to get into the system. And we started a break, Ed Holly, Perry Morris and myself, we started a little breakfast, you know, with a dozen eggs, sausage.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some veterans into the American Legion. They came up there. And we had people who were knowledgeable enough of the VA benefits that they helped them get into the system. One year we got almost 400 veterans into the system. In World War, one of the most gratifying things was World War II veterans were able, Frank Thacker, we were able to get him into the system where he started getting his medication. And stuff like that that we helped over the years. But that was our main goal, with helping our fellow veterans get into the system.
We're still having that breakfast, aren't we?
Oh, every morning. I mean, it's larger than it's ever been. I haven't had the opportunity to come up there in quite some time because of other activities I'm involved with. But yes, they do. Every Tuesday morning, they got a fine breakfast up there. I guess they still serve about 7:30.
Yeah.
And the veterans do come up there. And the American Legion put on a wonderful program at the high school the other day, you know, and it was on Red Skelton's definition of the Pledge of Allegiance, how he explained it. And that was very...
Did you get to go?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to say something about the band that was there. I forget what they call it, the Sylacauga High School Marbled Band. Those kids were wonderful. I mean, the music was beautiful. I tell you, they're doing a wonderful job at the schools.
Wow.
This afternoon we will be going to Pinecrest. When we finished at Sylacauga High School the other day, we went over to Nickel Lawson. And all the kids lined the hallways. We walked the hallways and greeted all of them and all. And
do you think they understand, Mayor, or is this the point of trying to help them to understand better?
Well, I don't know. Thank God they've got the flags and all, and they have the pledge and everything else. So hopefully they can understand exactly what it was. I think Red Skelton did a beautiful job if they could get that into the heads of the kids, you know, what the Pledge of Allegiance really means, you know, and the folding of the flags and what our freedom, what it has cost. Generation after generation after generation, you know, that wound up in wars trying to save the freedoms that we enjoy today. And it's, you know, just like, well, veterans, I guess it was World War I, you know, they called it Armistice Day back in then, I think. And when they ceased fire, it was the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month, you know, and also it carried, I think, was 1938 when the Congress actually designated Veterans Day on November 11th, and we've been celebrating it ever since. But we need to keep it going, even though veterans are a very small part of our total population. Really, I think there's about 18 million veterans in the United States today, and I think in Alabama we got a little over, I think it's a little over 500 and something. And veterans in Alabama, and some of them are women, you know. And we don't want to ever forget the women who served our country as well. We lost a lot of them in Vietnam. I mean, nurses, there's one nurse over there, I don't think they ever found her. But they gave their lives with, just like the men fought, you know.
Yeah.
And, but we need to remember our veterans. They work so hard, and what they do, you know, it's not for everybody to go into. You know, when I went in, it was a draft. And some people...
You had no choice, did you?
Well, yeah, I had a choice. I could have stayed in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I said, I wanted to serve. My brother served and father served, everybody, and I was going to serve too. And I had an opportunity when I got in there, after going through basic training. It was, I started enjoying it a little bit because I was a platoon guy to the 1st platoon of Company B at the 9th Battalion. And that gave me a little bit of freedom, but I had to learn this stuff faster than the other troops were learning,
What do you remember about basic training?
Well, as a platoon guide, you had 4 squads, and there's 12 men in each squad, and each squad had one squad leader, And I always made sure I got up earlier before they did, and get your squad leaders up, or get your squads
How
together.
early is early?
5:30. Yeah, I was up at 5:30, dressed and out there, and waking up the squad leaders to get their squads up, and then we get in formation. You had 3 platoons, We were 1st, 2nd, and 3rd platoon. We did lose one young man in the 3rd platoon. He had a heart problem, apparently, that they didn't pick up on it. I don't know what happened, but he did pass away during basic, and they started slacking off on some of our heavier physical training, everybody needs to go through it at least once.
I don't know how many veterans we have in this area. Do you know?
In Sylacauga area, no, I don't.
Okay.
Sylacauga, I think there's 500, at last count I recall, it's 560 something.
In the state?
No, in Sylacauga, and I think 32 served, are women that served,
Okay.
In our area in Sylacauga. And now that's no one. I think that's the last one I looked at was 2 or 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
The counts, I haven't kept it up with that close.
So we got the Veterans Day coming up, parade on Monday.
We have. You're going to start off and line it up about 9:15, 9:30, and I don't know who the Grand Marshal is going to be. John Hall will probably fill us in on that.
John's had some health problems. And,
He has. I saw him at the high school veterans program, and I really didn't recognize him. He just has some health problems. God bless him. Needed his thoughts.
He
and
loves
prayers.
his country.
Yeah, he did. He served. And also we got Fayetteville coming up this morning at 10 o'clock. And also at 10 o'clock, guess who's going to get sworn into office?
Who?
County Commissioner, District 5, Philip Morris.
Oh, yeah. He didn't nobody run against him,
They
did
didn't. Well, when you do a good job, I guess you don't have no competition.
I guess so, yeah.
But we're proud of him for that.
You surprised about the presidential election at all?
I kept my hopes up that it would go. It went a lot further than I thought it would. I mean, the turnout.
Yeah.
I was way behind Jay Craig, and it took me 30 minutes to get in, vote, and come out.
Do you know
and that line moved pretty
were...
quickly, but it was. I'm glad it won. I think the people of the country is getting tired of all this left-wing.
You've been concerned about the economy and stuff for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. That's the reason I vetoed the bond issue. With the city council, I felt like I knew we already got word that the feds were going to drop interest rates anyway, and I thought we needed to wait until after that anyway. And the fact of what we paid per $1,000 that we borrowed, I was very concerned about that. I think it should have been a lot less, so we had an opportunity to get less than that. But those are decisions that the council made, and I did what I could to veto that. And I vetoed a couple other things with the council, but I was overruled by
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we got the parade coming up Monday morning. We want everybody to be a part of that if you possibly can. Let's line the streets in downtown Sylacauga and honor our veterans. And Mayor, always a pleasure to have you come by.
And the weather's going to be great for this too.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Before we go,
okay,
I don't know if you saw or heard it all of the interview with Laura Heath. Can you comment on that at all as the mayor of Sylacauga?
She is legislative. She expressed I'm executive. I have to work closely with the council to get what I need to provide the funds and everything else for the 9 departments of this city to provide the service to the people of Sylacauga. I have to work closely with them. I'm not going to comment on any actions they take. If I feel it's wrong, I've vetoed things in the past, and I will continue to veto if I feel like it's wrong. But I'm looking after the citizens of Sylacauga through our departments that provide the services to them.
Fair enough.
That's all I can tell you.
Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl, our guest, a veteran of the military, and we honor him and all our other veterans coming up on Monday. We got more Daybreak just ahead. Don't go away.